Okay, I'm going to drop in here and say hello. We're going to spend a couple of minutes and we're going to learn how to make palm crosses for Palm Sunday or any other time for that matter. First, we need to dress the palm. You'll see that we have, this is a typical piece of palm, and basically you need to split it, into single layers, and then your thumbnail becomes a very important tool, and basically you want to take any ribs off. So, for example, please no talking. Thank you. Okay, you'll take any ribs off like I just did. And I'm just giving you an example of how you dress the palm. Okay, and then you'll take the ends, and the ends will get cut and squared. Okay, and you can see that I'm doing that here just as an example. This is how you need to prepare. At the end, if you see how the palms become very spindly and narrow, so you'll just take that off. Okay, so I've done that to this piece. I'm doing that to a second piece right now, just quickly, okay? And then what you'll do is, you see this piece of palm that we have here, you want to make it between 3/8 and a 1/2 inch thick at its thickest point, okay? And it's that easy. That's a nice piece of dressed palm now, okay? And there's one trick to making the palm cross, and it's a series of loops that make the intersection of the vertical and the horizontal pieces of the palm. This is the only trick to making the palm cross. Now, I'm going to show you here on camera how this works. With your thumbnail, you'll determine where a square would be on the end of the piece of palm. And we have a little contrasting background there that helps. Now, we fold that square once. We fold that square twice. We fold that square a third time. We now have folded that into a square 3 times. Take it back, and here's the trick. Go against the grain now, make a triangle, make a 45, and fold it back on itself. We were working the loop in this direction. We've now gone in that direction. Hold it with your thumb and forefinger. Take the bottom of the piece of palm, bring it up from the bottom through, and pull up on it, and then come around again. Let me get that other piece out of there. Come around again. Here, I want to be on camera. There we are. And come up through again, through the bottom of that square. And now we're making the loop. Now you see it's around my thumb. I remove my thumb, hold it by the side, and now I've made what's going to be the whole central point of the cross. I flip this back. You see I'm still holding the square now in my hand. Flip this back, and now it's a very simple matter to make the loops of the cross. We're going to be starting. These are going to be the vertical loops of the cross. So here we are. We're going to be going in the vertical plane. We go from smaller to larger. So you see I've made one loop. Now I go back the other way, and I make a second loop. Now again, the vertical plane, it'll be smaller to larger. So you can adjust these loops at any point in time. I'm trying to get that background so you can see it. I can make that loop a little smaller if I like. It's whatever looks good to the eye. Of course, the smaller loop will be the top of your cross. The bigger loop will be the bottom of your cross. Now I'm just going to build onto those loops. So I started in the front. Now these will be in back of the cross, so they'll be a little bit larger. And I'll show you in just a second. I'm going to make 2 more loops. This particular cross will just be a 2-looper. You can make them depending on the length and the size of the palm. You can make them as simple or as ornate as you'd like. This one will now be a 2-loop cross. Okay? Now we have an extra piece. It's as simple as just trimming it off. Now I'm going to show you this again carefully from the side and then from the front. And let me do this again with the background. You can see it. There we are. You can see it from the side and from the front. Now I'm going to take a similar piece, a similar size piece of palm. See if we have one that's clean. All right, I'm going to make one. Just bear with me. I'm going to cut a piece down to be about the same width as the one that I've just dealt with. Okay, and now here's my first piece. Here's the second piece that I've got. It's about the same thickness. I happen to be righty, so I'm just going to go from right to left. That palm now, that the horizontal piece, and I'm just a little too big. I have to trim it yet again. Bear with me. Got to make this the right size. Okay, that should do it. Sometimes a little bit of dressing with a scissor is important. I have this exactly the same thickness now as my first piece. So all I do is I take my horizontal piece and I put that into the loop. Try it again. There it is. It's in now. Okay, so that you can see how the palm cross is going to come together. And this is very easy in the horizontal plane. Now you're starting in the horizontal plane. You're going from back to front. So you'll make your bigger loops in the back, and then you'll build towards the front with smaller loops. And now this is all judging by eye what looks good to you, because the loops can be adjusted at any time. So I've made one. I'm going to go back across now. I'm making a second. Should be symmetrical. They can always be adjusted. Okay, and now you can see that the cross is coming together here. And now I'm working to the smaller loops. We're probably going to make this 3 because we have plenty of palm to deal with. So this particular cross will be 2 loops in the vertical and 3 loops in the horizontal. And I'll show you that as I'm going across. Again, I'm building my second series of horizontal loops. Very easy to do and can always be adjusted as you go. I'm going to show you that now with the blue background. You can see vertically there's 2, okay? Now I'm going to make my third set of horizontal loops, just going back and forth through the box that we created at the beginning. Okay, there's my third loop. And once again, back on the other side of the horizontal to make a third loop. And now I'm going to trim. So, here is the finished product of the exercise. I'd like you to see that clearly with the blue background. And then if I turn it sideways, you can see it as well. So we've made a palm cross. Again, any configuration, any size that you like. Best of luck and have fun with this tradition. Okay, Liz.
Happy Palm Sunday.